what Shokoh is saying, I asked the definition of success. She said, success for me is, I know I gave it my best. I went above and beyond to make it work. And that's for me is, successful, being successful. I love it. That's awesome. Christine?
I'm gonna agree with that too. And for me, success is living a life that I love. So what that looks like for me is maybe stepping in outside of my comfort zone. And even if I fail in some way, to me, that's a success because I'm growing. And that's the thing to me, the key is continual growth, mindset, everything that, where you're emotionally at is where the quality of your life is. So for me, it's striving. I agree with Shokoh about doing the best I can, but it's always looking for other ways to think about something, to do something differently than you're doing. So it's growth for me. That's my feeling. If I'm continually growing, then I'm successful in all areas of my life. Right.
I love it. Growing is succeeding, right? Always evolving and changing and adapting. And it's so true to look at, this year, right? If you did your resolution for ahead of time, November, December of last year, and you wrote the goals and what have you, which we'll talk about in a second. And then maybe, whoever did the, let resolution or goal planning, maybe January to February, and raise your hand virtually if you wrote on your 2020 pandemic, right? One of my goals for this year. I don't think so. So how do you adapt to that, right? It's interesting, right? So that's why you have to, once again, like Shokoh said, always push and thrive to do the best you can. And what Christine is saying, top it off with always look for how to change, how to adjust, how to adapt, because things changing all the time if you expect it and if you don't expect it.
Right. Yeah. And like our Calabasas office did our vision boards last year, and the joke was, this pandemic was not on our vision board. I have my vision board over there and I look at it, it's for sure not there. But, and so I think too, with the pandemic time, it was about the pivot. And for me, Meny knows, and some of the people in Calabasas know, it was a total change of life for me. So I had been dreaming for that one day when I'm going to be back to being a full-time realtor. And, I first got my license in the 1980s, even though I'm only 22, but anyway. So, I was in it at that time. And then I, had my children. I had another career for 25 years. And I was always in my mind, I started this goal 3 years ago when I came to Keller Williams, that I was going to be a full-time realtor. Like in my mind, that was success to me. I was striving for that. And little did I know it would take this pandemic time to really tell me that that future idea of what I could have is right now. And I made the decision in March and left that other company and jumped into this pivot of what we were doing virtually. And for me, it was so amazing that I got to come to a team meeting via Zoom. Like I had never been to a team meeting because I had a full-time job, so I couldn't do it. But, and I still had success in real estate during that time. But to me, it's like, wow, I'm getting to live that life that I dreamed of right this second, And of course, I'm not putting any, what's happened with the pandemic is horrible. And there's so many other lives that have been changed, drastically. But for me, it was a change of life that is really what makes me happy. I mean, it was a complete mind shift. And so for that, I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. Shokoh? Yeah.
Pandemic actually has a lot of lesson for me. Even, I'm involved with the life coaching since 2008, and I'm very looking forward for the growth, and then just have a peace and love and happiness sharing. For me, I have a background in my country, political background, and I start fighting for humanity when I was very young, like 16, 17 years old. It's part of my daily life and part of my personality. But it's still pandemic, it was one of the best coach in my life. How be flexible, how put yourself get together, how reevaluate your valuation. You know, what is the first, usually we're writing 10 value of the life, like health, wealth, this, that, but easily you can reevaluate and see, no, there's a lot of things that it was priority, but it's not, they are not real. For me, touching the life and seeing different way of the world makes me happier and more success. Really, people get our energy. I stay home for 2 months and then I just have discussion with myself. If you know that I closed one big one by end of the May, and I didn't have any closing until last month. And then when I get back and pull myself together with different energy, with different personality, I'm back to the market again. And it's very, very much happier and easier and more fun.
I love that, you know, and it's very true. And once again, thank you for being vulnerable and open, because, you know, the majority of the people out there, they've been going through the same, you know, experience, right? Emotionally, you know, business-wise, professionally, etc. And that's the reality of what it is. You know, it takes some people, you know, some longer, some faster time to digest what you're dealing with, and then adapt, and then jump back into it, right? Or keep doing what you're doing. And I've seen, you know, we have a lot of offices, a lot of great agents, and seen a lot of people, you know, reacting differently to that situation, right? And what's interesting, and that's why we kind of like picked up this topic, right? Mindset to success, is just in the sense of, you know, how do you keep pushing? Like, what is it that, you know, you do that drives you daily, keeping your eyes on the target, right? Figure of speech. And even though, like, with all those challenges, right? That's pretty much what the big question is. So if I had to ask you that question, right? Go back to April, May, June, whatever, and just fast forward to today, right? We're still in pandemic. It didn't go. We're in pandemic. We're in maybe in some kind of a weird recession. Doesn't feel like it, right? But by the numbers it is. So how do you wake up in the morning, like, what do you have going on? What is it?
You know, it's funny, but I have something I say, we have to dance with the life. And every morning I said, okay, now I have a new dance, and I follow, and, you know, I dancing with the life. And then that's why it's more enjoyable. I don't look at this, I have to do this, I have to do that. I'm just try to dance and be, you know, flexible. And my goal is just make sure I make my everybody around me, make them feel better, more happy, more, you know, energized. I mean, I don't know, really, I don't look at the numbers, or I say this is my goal. I'm just trying to be a positive, one more day, positive, happy. And also I schedule, even I call my past client or my client or whoever, I try to first just give them the good energy.
I love it. Christine, what's in your mind when you're waking up? What's going on then?
You know, for me, it's about just immersion into everything that I'm doing. So it's, I do have a routine, which I met Meny when we had the West Side. I was kind of getting out of my box a little bit because I was very regimented. I'm doing the morning mindset, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, with room for growth, but I'm switching it up. And that was something that you had brought up to everyone. And I think it's about getting the systems in. I'm excited. If I look back at some things I thought I could never do, and now I'm doing them, there is a satisfaction of that, but it just teaches you that it's possible to do those things. It's like driving a car. When you first learned to drive a car, you were, like so nervous, and you were holding that steering wheel, and everything was, like you had to think about everything. And now we get in the car, not that we don't think, but I mean, it's all automatic, and you're not really, you're not that state. So I think that's how it is. If you're using that muscle and you're, going on, and I'm continually educating myself with the Tom Ferry seminar, mega camp things, doing stuff like that, and trying different things, and being consistent is something too, that once I'm in a mode of, doing my farming or sending my emails or whatever, or cold calling. And the thing about educate, inform, and serve is really, really ingrained in my brain. So when I'm talking to someone, those are the things that I'm looking at.
I'm so agree with you, because doing different way is the most important thing. Doing different way. Yes, this is very cool.
What I love about it is both of you mentioned that is you're very much aware of your surroundings as well, right? It's not just about yourself. And I love it. I resonate with it because I function the same way. And that, leads us to the other element, the other part of, excuse me, of the, what we call the miracle morning, right? You wake up, you focus on yourself first, prime yourself, make sure that you're all in, focused, the mind is clean or what have you, because then you need to show up to the benefit of others, right? And that's what it's all about, because we are in the service business. We
Yes.
to serve other people. So do you agree with that?
Yes.
Approach?
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally. And I think if you come from that place in your conversations, it's not a sales thing. We aren't trying to sell somebody something. We're coming from that genuine place. If you really are, you have to really come from that place. And it's all about relationships. So, the clients that we have that are coming to us or coming back to us, it's about our relationship that we have with them. It's about communicating and having that.
And the more producers I speak to, it's really a mix of two things, right? Number one is systems. And number two is, once again, that the desire to help other people that feeds their mind, right? Or if you can phrase it as their mindset, right? Their mind is set to function in a very specific way, right? So the 150, the one side or 50% is that I have to follow some kind of a pattern, some kind of a model to stay consistent, right? There's the core few things that you cannot drop them, right? You cannot give up on prime yourself in the morning, like make sure that you take care of yourself and make sure that you're ready for the day, right? It can be read a book or read something or listen to music or work out, shower, put your makeup on, fix your hair, whatever, right? Like the basic stuff that makes you dress however you want to dress, right? Like I'm ready for the day. And then
don't share our secret, then don't say about it.
Hey, I don't do makeup. It's okay. Don't share our secrets.
Yeah, I know.
And it is like for me, even though I'm kind of an old realtor, I'm a newbie. I feel like I'm a newbie. And, it's going to be 3 years in November that I've been at Keller Williams Calabasas. Yeah. And during that pandemic, I did have my biggest to date sale. And my listing and sale, so I doubled that, and it was amazing. And I think that gave me I know it was unbelievable. I worked on it though for a year, so it wasn't like it just happened. But so I think that too, it's the striving, and no matter if you're a very seasoned realtor or you're brand new, I think we all have something to learn from someone else. And I came down to the West Side office, and I got to meet everyone that I had seen only on Zooms before. I had only seen them like that. And it was so cool just to walk in and see everyone and have that, it's an instant connection because we've been sharing, our whole team has been sharing. And so I think that's it. I know I have a lot to learn from everyone, and I'm appreciative when people are sharing and their ideas. And, you know, there's so many things that maybe I never thought of it that way, you know, or maybe you never thought of it that way. And I said something that made you, you know, think differently, think like that. So I'm appreciative, and thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. One more, sorry, Shokoh, anything you had to add?
No, I was.
One more thing is, we're talking about, sorry, so I'll finish my thought for a second. When it's like 50% is the systems, is to focus on things that you cannot give up, right? So it's like the morning miracle, the morning routine, and then focus on the things that are yours, but through those actions, right, or those habits, you actually get in the business, so getting paid, which is lead generation, prospecting, follow up, right, phone calls, meet people in person, social media, etc. So we cannot give up on that, because if you stop doing it, even if you're like very busy, oh my God, I have 2 escorts right now going, okay, how did you get there? You're talking to people, okay? Take it easy, it's okay. Don't drop the ball, don't drop the phone, right, Shokoh?
Yeah. Yes, that's very true. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Sometimes I had 7 escrow at the same time, but I was more focused than I have 1. It's just depend of the mindset and how to schedule the day and how you are extended your vision. I mean, really, I'm telling you, when I have more escrow, I'm more busy, I can make it better.
Yeah, no, I love the fact that you said that, because, and I said it too, because it's like I'm not making a joke, you know, like I was
Yeah.
like I had 2 escrows, when I first started, like, oh my, this is the end of the world. I don't know how to, how can you do more than 2, right? The busier you are, once again, if you adopt systems, can be even just basic stuff, and also you trust the people that working around you, right? To support you in your business, the TC, the escrow, the title, lenders, etc., then the better you'll become. So
that's great.
yeah. So that's one half. The second half is focusing once again on the service, right? That's really just come from it's like servant attitude, or servant leadership. When you run your business as a business, but also like you still have that part of how can I do more of the good stuff? How can I please my client in a way that they will offer me to, hey, can I refer people to you, right? Or, versus me asking for the business. Some of you out there, I know that you Shokoh, Christine for sure. Your time will come sooner than later when you have business mostly by referrals.
Yes, you know what? As Christine said, we doesn't have anything to sell. The house that we have is not us. We are not the seller. We are in services. We don't have anything. We don't have a pen to sell. We don't have a phone to sell. We don't have anything. The houses is not us. Whoever buy, whoever sell is their own property. We are here not to selling anything. Just make the most important emotional transaction for everybody in their life. We're just here to make it more fun, smoothie, more sealing everywhere that there is a hole, and that's our job. But really, our job is not to selling or to buying something. Our job is just to make the transaction smoothie and more secure and fun for any parties, if there is a seller or buyer. I usually use some example. We said, our agent, we are like taxi driver. Everybody drive the taxi, but somebody drive the limousine. We have to, the way that we treat our customer, they have to feel that they are exclusive in the limo. They are very happy. They have some drink during this, transportation. This is the feeling we're going to give our client. They are in the limousine, not the taxi. It's the difference. Both of them, they are in service. you go from A to B. It doesn't matter with taxi, Uber, but when you go with the limousine, you will remember. You can, it's gonna be, you will feel it. It's different. You're gonna memorize. It's our job to do.
I love it. Yeah, it's just it's really about the I use the analogy of the Amazon experience, right?
Uh-huh.
When you buy something in Amazon, some people, it's not even about what they get. It's just that the experience, because after you checked out and you choose your preferred payment method, and you choose your shipping address, if it's different in a billing address, and you confirm, and then you pick up the 2 days shipping or whatever, and you click purchase or whatever, then you get the confirmation email, right?
Yeah.
It's like satisfaction. It's like satisfying, like you finish something. Then you get like a follow-up email when it was shipped. Then you get another email when it was actually arrived, right, or delivered, and then you get the package. So it's what I'm saying, that like Amazon did like such a great job, still do a great job in the shopping experience, in a way of I'm talking, there's like Amazon boxes right now being dropped in the office. So it's someone is going to be very excited today. So you see, like it's exciting, right? So, and then you like, guess what, when you're going to buy the next stuff, do you go eBay or do you go
Amazon?
Right? So it's really just to give the consumer that kind of experience, for sure, And the reason that I like talking about it, because if you're listening to this and you deliver as a producer, as an agent, you deliver that kind of service to your client. So if you're new in the game, you're like, what should I focus on? Is the experience. It's the experience. That's huge. That's like such a massive part.
It's experience and relationship.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. We're talking about one more thing. If you remember, in our last meeting on Friday, about challenge yourself to think a little bit differently, right? Because we were talking about, mindset of successful people. There's like some things that are very similar to all those, players out there, right? And then we were pointing out the fact that some things need to be challenged at all times, right? So for example, lead generation, prospecting, don't drop the ball. Now you can change how you do it. If you don't, right now you cannot door knock, let's say traditionally, or do like the regular open houses. So you have to find different path or different, lead gen source of how to get business, right? So those things will not change. But if you remember, we're talking about changing different habits. Christine, do you remember maybe, you do the morning miracle on a regular basis. I think you're by the way, can you still hear me, Christine? I'm sorry, I think I lost you. I'll give her a second. Okay. There we go. Hold on. I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself. You're muted, so we can see, we can kind of hear you.
Okay, I'm here. I'm back.
Okay, perfect. So do you remember you're practicing Miracle Morning, daily, right? Yeah. What's your routine like?
Kind of a form of it. I mean,
Sure.
it's starting your day basically for yourself. So it's putting in, what are the things that you are, and writing them down, because if it's not written, you're not going to see it and it's not really real. So it's the things you want to accomplish. It's I have a little thing of so many books that I want to read, or something, whatever it is for yourself, or it's a certain way I'm going to eat today, or it's a certain way I'm going to exercise today, or whatever it is. And it's just kind of starting your morning routine like that. I have a little routine, I do like the Tony Robbins, way, but I drink the water, I have my lemon, I do whatever it is for my body. And also making a list for gratitude, things that I'm grateful for, and coming from that place in the morning for me, just starts my day like that. And it's my favorite time of day. It's quiet. I love it. and have my cup of coffee, and so it's just a way to start, and it's centering for me.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what it is.
Shokoh, how many cups of coffee do you have every morning?
Just one.
Just one, okay.
Yeah, I don't drink anything except water since 10:30, and then by 10:30 I grab a coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to have my coffee.
As Christine said, also I have the routine to meditate and thanks for everything every day before starting. No. When I wake up, the first thing I grab my phone and look at everything. And then, but the minute I get up from the bed, I have at least 20 to 25 minutes to pull myself together and then talk to the universe, God, say thank you for everything. And then I started.
Yeah, I love it. In that sense, what we were talking about, once again, you want to be ever evolving, always adapting and changing. And, you wouldn't really know how to adapt and what to change towards until things usually happens, right? Once again, pandemic. So how do I adjust into that, right? And how do I change my day, my routine, etc. Right? If you have kids, it's even crazier on the spectrum.
Yes.
So that's why what we, challenging you guys to do is sometimes change the habits that you take for granted, but that might or might not affect your, once again, the professional part. For example, if Christine wakes up every morning at, Christine, was it 6? Yeah?
It could be 5 or 6.
Yeah, so let's say she's at 6 a.m. So challenge yourself to wake up at 5 a.m. Right? Yeah. But really like just go like extreme. Like don't say like, okay, I'll wake up at like 10 to 6, right? Like 5:50, 10 minutes and whatever. That won't do any good. It won't really change anything, right? Do big jumps. But you see like to wake up at 5 a.m. versus 6, or if you're 7 a.m., wake up at 6, right? Like that will give you like another hour to do stuff. You're going to be like one step ahead of everybody else. Now, if in your head you think that it's very uncomfortable, it might be a torture, it's not, you don't need it, there's no purpose, leave me alone. That's why you probably want to do it, because it's going to make you very uncomfortable. That's how you're actually going to stretch yourself. You're going to adapt, you're going to change towards the whatever it is out there. And once again, to play that mindset game, you're always going to be ready for something that you don't even know that you're ready for it. Make sense?
Yeah.
So, Christine, did you start to wake up at 5 a.m. since we last?
5 a.m. Really, 5 a.m.?
Yes. I do anyway. I mean, that's kind of where I've been. But, when you have my thing too is about having the freedom in your brain. And what I mean by that is I write down every single thing. I do use my calendar in my phone, and I mean, every single thing that I have to think or whatever it is, I write it down, and the list usually is very long. And I find that if I wake up in the middle of the night and I think of something, it is that thing like writing it down, because you take it out of your brain, and so you can relax. You can, just like when we're up early and we're doing all these things, when you're sleeping, you really need to have that deep, rest. And unlike Meny, we were supposed to have 6 hours of sleep. So, I mean, that's the best functioning. I mean, everybody works differently, but for me, I have to have that. But that helps me too.
Yeah.
That's what they came up with, the Turkish coffee. Yeah. For sure. But yeah, it's not just about like what time to wake up in the morning. It's, once again, can be any kind of habit, the small ones that you write, maybe you eat the same food, maybe you drink the same type of coffee. Just adapt, change. It's going to make your mind grow and expand different ways. So what else would you consider if I had to ask you habits, or what kind of mind hack, if you may, you use to be that kind of a person that keeps your mind set on doing the habits, or do the same things that lead to that success as you defined it. What is it? What are those this one thing or those things?
You mean how we challenging ourselves? That was your question?
I mean, it can be that, or how do you keep your mind, you know, on top of your game on a daily basis? What is it that drives you?
Do you want me? I'll go. For me, I just, one of the things is my phone, and I have it dinging me, dinging me, dinging me with little, you know, a sentence, a word, whatever it is. You know, sometimes it's even, you know, love my life with a little heart, and it's just to me to look at it and go, yeah, you know, or whatever it is. It's a reminder, and that's a key to me is reminding. I do have tons of Post-it notes with, you know, I have this one. I choose to live my life in a beautiful state, and you know, every day. And I have little signs like that, you know, things to remind me. So those are triggers. And I also set specific times with myself. Like, I'm going to do this for an hour, and I'll set my timer, and I'm going to do whatever this. And I have been doing, Meny was really, really good comments before about your time, like what's important, and not letting other things occupy that time. So if your time is that you're going to leech in from this time, or your time is you're going to go to this meeting, then don't make any other plans for that time, unless you want to change it up a little bit. So there's a part of that with Meny. But, you know, so that's, I think too, is, and that probably, if I had to say the struggle for me, that was probably the biggest struggle, is to, you know, I'm all over, have a million things. And so for me, it's focusing on one thing at a time and being present to that. And so for me, that's what I would say.
For me, it was challenging to be like you. I mean, I trying very hard. Sorry, my phone ringing. I trying very hard to have it. First of all, I'm writing. I'm like you. I put the note before I go to bed. Otherwise, my mind is going to be occupied, and I'm not going to have a deep sleep. Every night before to go, I'm get the notes and writing everything I have to do for tomorrow. But then I learned in this job. Our job is a lot of you know, expected thing happen, and it's we have to be flexible. Before I get anxiety, or I have to 9 to 10, I had this one, now I have to go to this one, now I have the escort, something happen, I have to focus on that. Now I learn how to be flexible and not panic. I can, you know, very fast changing the schedule, put this one for the afternoon, put that one for the morning. If my client have this request, still I try very hard to be on a schedule, which I'm not always, but the thing I learned, make sure when I changing something from 9 to 10, make sure that 10 I can put it back. It's not just I forget about this part of thing that I have to do. I have to find another place to push it in this place. But I learned not to panic and be flexible also.
I love it. It's well said, Shokoh. You know, this is a trick that you can use as well to run your life and your business. Is right. First of all, you have to be okay with systems. You have to be okay with schedule your time, schedule your day, and I mean, don't overdo it. Meaning, don't do. I recommend not to do things back to back. Right, 9 to 10 a meeting, 10 to 11 this, 11 to 12 that. You're gonna set yourself to fail, and it's okay to fail, but if you fail to learn, that's fine. If you're gonna fail and get disappointed over and over again, that doesn't really work. You're gonna kill your spirit. So make sure to space it out, because as both of you mentioned, there's things that are unknown going to be thrown into the mix, and then you have to be creative of like how to handle them, etc. Right? So you have to have that gap in between. However, think about this. Think how it's going to look like if you're destined to get 5 to 6, listings every month. It's going to be given to you, okay? And on top of that, you're going to get 5 to 6 buyers. They're going to give it to you. They're going to be pre-approved. Just find the property, right? So you got the listing. You just have to list it and market it and sell the house. You have buyers, different properties. You can double-end it, okay? So you're going to have more business. You got those buyers, and you have to find the properties. And and then, you know, everything's going to be done for you, meaning the technology is being done for you, and the marketing, you have a marketing person who's doing your flyers and the postcards and the whole thing, right? Shokoh is like, what are you talking about? This sounds like a dream. And then think that you have, sorry, Shokoh, not a limo, but you got an Uber driver, fine, whatever, limo driver for you, okay? No taxis for you, Shokoh. We don't do taxis anymore. And it's going to drive you around from one appointment to another and everything. And so far, so good. That it sounds nice. Okay, can you handle that? So put that mindset right now in the same place as, oh, and top it off with an executive assistant. That this person, right, your assistant, he tells you every day what's happening and what you need to do today and now and later. And hey, the meeting is done, go to the next one, do what. That's how you should run your life every day, as you have all those things, even if you don't.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, but my point was, like, I had 2 showing this morning, and then I arranged another all together. I mean, I go from this part to the other and then back, and then I'm gonna pick up all the paper for last closing, which is missing, and back to the office. But right away when I was ready and I sat in the car, I got the call and she said, unfortunately, my son has this, I cannot make it. Can you reschedule? Then first of all, I have to call them and apologize to the other agent. I'm so sorry, she cannot make it. And then all my schedule, it has to be changed because I put it all together. I mean, even if 9 to 10 showing and 10 go to the valley and then met them at that time, but I have to reschedule. Before it was so challenging for me, but now I know how to handle it, how to get together and put, you know, that was my point. We have a lot of things that is not in our control. Even your schedule, it could happen.
Yeah, 100%. And that will, that skill will come with time, with experience.
Yes.
All along. I agree 100%.
That's true.
Add to that the fact that you have to have this sense of, you know, self-confidence in you, that it's like someone is running your day, even if it doesn't exist yet. You have the person who's going to show up and drive you and feed you and whatever. Even if you don't have it, this person is actually you.
Yes, me.
So until you're going to have those people or this person, right? It's you, but act like you have those people, so you show up and you're not afraid to conquer the day. And that's what, once again, gonna feed that mind of the tiger, right? All of you little tigers, and you show up and you're not afraid. You just show you know, have such a high, you know, both of you, right? High self-confidence, and you're gonna make the day happen, and you're gonna win the day no matter what. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
I think for me too is that if you know something that you need to do, and you end up with a chunk of time, like someone canceled, like today I had someone cancel for my listing in Encino. So I was like, oh, okay, now I have that hour. So now I had some other projects that I've been, you know, kind of, I wanted to do, trying to fit in. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna waste the time. And I think on my hours that I'm working, I'm not gonna waste it doing something else. So like, it wasn't like, okay, now I can just go sit down and have coffee somewhere. I'm gonna use that time because it's so valuable to me to do something else.
Yeah.
I like it's so wise, right? I'm not saying smart. It's different. It's so wise because you're wisely using your time, right? To add more value. And that could, for someone else, it could be in that given time. I'll make another call, or I'll do another, or I just want to
relax, get the coffee.
The moment. Christine, next time give us a call. Me and Shokoh will join us for a cup of coffee.
I had my first Turkish coffee with Ronan the other day in the office. I never had it before, but he made it for me.
Did you like it?
I did like it.
Yeah.
I like very strong black coffee, so it was very yummy.
And I had like 45 minutes, like 40 minutes extra today because of cancellation. I went to the store, like Whole Foods, it was closed, and I bought and I shopped my day and I said, oh yeah, in the afternoon, I don't need to go to shop anymore. I mean, we can make it usable time.
Yeah. I love it. Good discussion. I don't think.
I was going to mention one more thing, Meny. And the other thing too about being in real estate, since I came from a corporate world, you know, and I had a very strict schedule. You know, I got up at this time, I left to go to work at this time. You know, I was there. We closed at 4 every single day, and so my life was structured around that completely. But I've noticed that, you know, I love doing contracts at 10:30 at night. This is who I am. I can make my own schedule. And so that's one of the things about, you know, and I know I'm so newbie in it, but the real estate thing is that that's what I like. I get to do my thing. And if I wanted to go have, you know, lunch with you tomorrow, I could set that up and we could do that. And so I think I make my own hours, and that's, you know, another thing that's so fantastic about it to me. And everybody has a different schedule. So what works for me is, you know, I'm not going to meet Meny at the gym at 3 o'clock in the morning, but. Okay.
Well, the gym is closed, unfortunately. So you're right. But yeah, no, I you know, it's a great point, and you know, whoever is watching, guys, whoever's going to watch later in the recordings, take all those little nuggets and put them in your head and just try to piece them to see. It's also like a matter of like where you're at, what kind of stage you are in life right now. Right? Not just by age, by definition, but just like in place in life and what you accomplished and where you're going to, you know, towards and what you're going through, etc. So put all those pieces together and see how it can make sense to you, and once again, how much you're willing to challenge yourself to push yourself to that next level, wherever that level, what this level might be, right? Anything else you ladies want to add before I'm going to let you go back to your schedule?
No, thank you so much for the opportunity. We can share our, you know, opinion with the others. And, you know, I mean, be together also to have the Friday or today, or this is going to help a lot. Even if we think of directly doesn't, what was it? But it's in general, it's very important this, you know, synergy and be together. And next time we promise we're going to go to Calabasas. They don't need to drive all the way here.
I love it. And yes, thank you so much. I mean, Meny, when you asked me to speak, I was like, me? What could I say to anyone? I'm like, what? No,
we have a lot of things to
say. Everyone else. But, you know, sharing and talking and also putting it out in the universe what your words are. It does affect yourself. So I gained so much just by speaking to everyone, and I learned so much from everyone. And I, you know, I'm the first one. I talk to other realtor. I talk to everyone. If you know me, I talk a lot, and I can talk to anyone. And so I love learning and hearing different things because it's not my mindset. I didn't know those things, and so I'm very appreciative of, you know, everyone in our office and offices, and that the sharing and that all of this, you know, is available to us. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Me too, Meny. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and you know, actually the place to go for an outdoor session is Long Beach right now, or Long Beach Coastal Office, because the temperature is perfect and they have a tent at the courtyard outside. So that's a sweet spot. So we might have to do something over there at one point.
And I did go there, and it was so great to see the office. And I helped Meny set up that tent.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, we will join you.
And Hallie.
All right, ladies, thank you so much. Christine,
thank you, Meny.
Thank you for your wisdom and your time. I appreciate you. And thanks everybody for watching us. Stay safe. Take care. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye. Have a good day. Bye-bye.